believe that. All right, so how about we move on to a lighter topic? I think this is a known thing, but this is becoming more and more evident. Did you know that because of pollution, particularly plastic pollution, penises are shrinking? In fact, not only that, this is a true fact. This is it should be concerning. People always men's health is always a joke, but this is true. Particularly in the Western world, sperm counts of all men has dropped by 50% than what it was 20 to 30 years ago.
You're getting this Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves. Dude, I don't know.
That can't
Maybe
be right.
your sperm count's still on point, but this is a serious, serious issue.
So what if we looked at your
50%.
sperm, there'd just be like 3 or 4 RLEs in there, one with 3 eyes going...
Probably. Why do you think we have
50%?
so many more? Back in the day, you used to be couples used to be able to conceive so easily. Now IVF, surrogacy are way more prevalent. Well, that's one of the studies. They've actually formed a link between particularly plastic, certain kind of plastics. They say that if you consume that, particularly like in terms of toys for babies, it mimics certain estrogen qualities that tricks your mind into thinking, oh wait, there's too much estrogen, so I guess you become a soy boy.
Right.
But that's having an effect on literally your not just your sperm count, but like your physicality. Your penis is getting smaller progressively.
Wait. There's a difference between your penis getting smaller and a lower sperm count.
Both of those are issues linked to the same thing, but I'm saying even physically your penises are now getting smaller.
What, from kids eating plastic toys?
Everyone consuming or being around plastics.
Shit. Because they say microplastics are in a lot of food now, right?
Well,
is that what you mean?
I'm not surprised by that at all. I'm pretty sure Mexico cooks plastics, dude. Like, I've seen them cook weird shit. Like, do you know how often they use Coca-Cola as an ingredient for food?
Yeah.
Coke.
They'd be like, Coca-Cola. They'd be like, and what the stir fry needs is just 1 liter bottle of Coke. My favorite ingredient. That's not an ingredient.
No,
that's a junk food that you keep for like Macca's only.
Yeah.
It's got to be the microplastics. That's not good.
Well, but do you think that's a good thing? I don't know, Jordan. Like you would say that, well, less sperm count means less kids, and that means less population. So maybe it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, especially because it's probably happening in the third world the most, right? Because
no, it's happening.
Are just plastic.
It's happening in the Western world the most.
How are they getting away with it?
Because
how's that?
I think part of it also has to do with look, when I look at Pakistan, right? When I was growing up over there, sure, there was a lot more plastic on the streets. There was way more usage of plastic. But you know what we were eating? Non-processed shit. We were mostly eating fresh vegetables. We were mostly eating really fresh meat. A lot of our stuff was super fresh. And that's because those like super capitalism forces, when everything has been commodified, hasn't taken over nearly to that level.
You're still peasants.
We look at our stuff. Most of our stuff is really processed. Our foods, even our vegetables. You look at our vegetable looks fucking perfect. You look at an apple at Kohl's, it looks so beautiful. It's huge. Like you can tell that some guy wearing a white coat made this apple look so good. You go to fucking Pakistan, they're like small, they're flavorful, but they don't look nearly as good. And I think that's how apples are supposed to be. They're not supposed to be so good looking. Like we've kind of
they're modified, aren't they? It's not GMO.
Well, look, there's a definitional issue over there. It is genetically modified, but not in the same way as like Monsanto is doing it. They're genetically modified in the sense that they keep breeding the best looking apples together, give them the environment that is optimal, and give them like introduce like certain fertilizers that would turbocharge them. Like, just look at a normal chicken. You know, a normal chicken's lifespan was supposed to be 10 to 12 years in the wild. We eat chickens after 80 days. Can you imagine the work that would have gone into making that chicken develop in 80 days?
How long is it supposed to be?
A chicken lives for like 12 years, or in the wild was supposed to live for 12 years. So it really should have been like
Shit.
an adult chicken fit for consumption should have at least taken a year and a half.
But there's a difference.
We're doing it in 80 days.
There's a difference between genetically modifying something and plastics.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't want to get into that definitional thing. So this isn't about genetically modified, but I'm saying all of this is playing a role into it. It's like
also
climate change. Like
chemicals
if there's a flood in Australia, you can't point directly at it and say that's caused by climate change. It might not be. It might just be a cyclical thing. But if you look at the entire thing, I think there's a lot of factors that are really playing into this. And I think processing foods.
But do you think that it's probably better off in the long run?
I really don't think so.
You don't?
In terms of population control, maybe.
That's an evil way to control a population.
But I think you're going to live longer with diseases. You're going to die more painful deaths.
Because of the plastic.
Because of the plastic. Because, it's increasing.
I thought that we just give birth to babies that really were baby borns. Would that be incredible if someone actually does give birth to a plastic doll? There's so much plastic.
Jesus.
I don't know if that's how biology works.
I don't think it does.
But maybe it's just like the plastic doll has Charles Darwin's head on it, being like... But like, dude, don't you think that even in terms of the genetically modified stuff, it's kind of just turning into that how we could just continue to be nomadic and 150 acres could support 150 people, or you could go to corn and it'd support 1,000 people, but their life expectancy would drop by 30%.
Yeah, and so is the question quality of life or quantity of life?
But they say that
Quantity of life... Ironically, quantity of life is quality of life, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. I would rather die at like 65, walking about, if someone told me, now you can live till 80, but you're going to be like in
Bedridden.
pain. I would...
It depends how much, because I'll claw onto the dead end. If someone said, you can have an extra second of life, but I'm going to poke you with this searing hot rod, I'd be like, let's do it. It was worth it.
And the funny thing is that extra second, all you did be just like rehearsing a script.
What?
Just needlessly rehearsing a script that you'll never release. Just being like, barrel alarm. Oh, I did it. Ah.
Fat Dyke on crack makes a good point over here.
And John Barilaro's like dead family members are like the gatekeepers to the pearly gates. That's just sort of be like,
How-
you didn't believe in us, dude.
How ironic.
What do you reckon? Would you do that?
Do what?
You got 15 extra years, but you're kind of like hobbling around crippled.
It depends, like, the level of pain. What do you mean hobbling around cricket? Like, what? One of my legs is a bit...
Each step you take is painful.
How painful?
Pins and needles painful.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I like
it's way
pins and
too
needles.
little. You like it?
Like, they're kind of
You're
fun.
free.
They're kind of fun. They're like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah? Well, you do actually like variety.
Yeah, I'd probably
So
go...
different types of pain.
Yeah, different types of pain I'd hang on. I definitely feel like I'm like the... I want more life, fucker.
Yeah,
So I'd probably hang on. But you know, if someone's like searing me with a hot cattle prod, like, no, that's not going to be fun. You can't like eat a bowl of fur. It's like that's not going to work. You know.
Hey,
What about every now and then, like a demon, and you don't know when, you'll just be walking around, and then he just crawls up your anus. Every now and then, like once every 6 months, somewhere.
How big is he?
Like, you'll feel it, you know?
Come on, variety, bring it on. At this
We
point,
all know Ali would say yes.
I'm